UFC 308 has come to a close, and the event has ended with the same exact champion as we had heading into the event, Ilia Topuria, and still the UFC Featherweight Champion of the world, and still undefeated, now sitting at 16-0, 8-0 in the UFC, and now the first man to ever knock out Max Holloway. December 10th, 2022, Ilia Topuria became the first man to ever defeat Bryce Mitchell, who at that time was 15-0 and 6-0 in the UFC. Oh, and by the way, he did it via submission against the submission ace that is Mitchell. In June of 2023, Ilia Topuria had one of the most lopsided scorecards in UFC history, a 50-42 over former interim championship title challenger Josh Emmett. February 17th, 2024, Ilia Topuria challenged for the undisputed featherweight title. That is where he became the first man to ever defeat Alexander Volkanovski at 145 pounds, and he did that by knocking him out viciously in the second round to become the new champion. And now, October 26, 2024, Ilia Topuria has improved to 16-0, 8-0 in the UFC with 14 finishes to his name, and he defends his title for the first time successfully by becoming the first man ever to knock out Max Holloway. Are you kidding me? That is the last 2 years for Ilia Topuria. Oh, and by the way, he is 27 years old. Ilia Topuria may truly be one of the most special talents that we have in all of mixed martial arts right now, and especially in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. The run that he is on right now, the way in which he is winning these fights in such decisive fashion, such brutal fashion, even when he gets these finishes, it is unreal. This 4-fight stretch, if you want to talk resumes, just how damn good his resume already is with just 8 fights into his UFC career. We could be on to something very, very monumental and historic if Ilia Topuria takes this momentum that he's on right now and continues to capitalize on it fight by fight, year by year. And you want to talk about adding pressure to the Ultimate Fighting Championship to get their promotion to Spain for the very first time? This man is on a rocket ship to the moon if we want to talk superstardom, because as I said on Friday, he was already, in terms of the international scale of things, a very big deal. Millions of followers on social media, has been to Real Madrid's games, had celebrities with him at his walkouts even this weekend, and now he has taken that momentum and defeated one of the most beloved names in all of the UFC's history in Max Holloway. And he did it in such a way to where even in the victory, in the post-fight interview, he was so humble and showed the love and gave the praise to Max Holloway that he is deserving of. Yes, Ilia can be borderline cringy as he heads into some of these fights, but I think it's just him trying to build the eyeballs, build the excitement around his fights. But he's been nothing but humble throughout all of his career and through all of these victories, and it really shined through here with Max Holloway. So you pair that performance with the way that he handled it, the way that he handled the call out of saying he wants to have the rematch with Alexander Volkanovski, he wants to fight Diego Lopez. This is a guy in Ilia Topuria who is ready and willing to be an active champion that is constantly looking to fight the best of the best, defend his title as much as possible. He truly checks every single box from a business perspective if you're the UFC, from a fan's perspective watching the sport. We got to start appreciating greatness for Ilia Topuria, and he's only 27 years old. And as for the fight itself, wow, was it just high level or what? We knew how exciting this was heading into the bout, how anticipated it was from the entire mixed martial arts community, even to the casual audience. This was a very, very big fight for them, and it delivered from minute 1 to minute 11:34 when this fight would have ended in that third round. It was back and forth. It was high pace, tons of volume, tons of output, tons of big time shots landed, not only from Ilia Topuria, but from Max Holloway as well. I, for one, had it 1-1 heading into that third round. I felt Max had the better volume and output in that first round. Round number 2, Ilia came on pretty strong, landed a lot more of the big shots, quote unquote. And then in that third round, much of the same. They just picked up right where they left off at the end of the first 2 rounds. going back and forth, toe to toe, tit for tat on the feet, and it ends with Ilia landing a vicious left hook that dropped Max Holloway. He finishes him with the ground and pound strike, similar to how he finished Alexander Volkanovski, and now he's the first man to ever officially knock down Max Holloway. I know that Max, and even I believe Justin Gaethje, knocked him down at UFC 300, but officially on the all-time statistical leaderboards, he has knocked down Max Holloway and has handed him the first knockout loss of his 34 professional fight career. I just went and checked, and officially on the judges' scorecards, 2 judges had it 2-0 for Ilia Topuria heading into the third round, and 1 judge had it tied at 1 apiece. So, as you can see there, whichever way you had it scored, it was a very tight race, a very high-level back-and-forth bout, everything that you could ask for as a mixed martial arts fan. These 2 went out there and delivered an all-time 11-minute fight, if you ask me. It was a perfect mixture of chaos and of high-quality MMA. And what a beautiful display it was from Ilia Topuria. And of course, my hat is off to Max Holloway. I'm still repping the Max Holloway hoodie, even in defeat. One of the greatest to ever do it. One of the greatest featherweights of all time, for sure top 3 in that weight class. But now, what do we do, right, if we're Max Holloway? Do we just go back to the drawing board, take some time away after a big 2024, and evaluate here? Do we stay at 145 pounds? Does he remain at featherweight and try to get another crack at the Featherweight Championship, or does he permanently now make the move and transition to 155 pounds? We've seen him do it twice now, and he's 1 apiece. A loss to Dustin Poirier over the course of 25 minutes, and that insane fight with Justin Gaethje for the BMF belt back at UFC 300 in April, where he ended it with one of the most memorable knockouts in UFC history. I think I lean the latter. I think we've seen all we need to see of Max Holloway in this featherweight division. I think it's ran its course. He's been a champion. He defended the belt 3 times. He's literally beat everyone there is to beat in this division, outside of, obviously, Ilia Topuria and his kryptonite that is Alexander Volkanovski. I think we go to 155. I think we let Max's body really build out as a physique, get stronger, get bigger physically, and see him begin his permanent switch to 155 pounds because, again, he's 32 years old, been in the UFC since he was 20 years old, back in 2012 when he made his debut. I think we get a nice little hiatus here from Max, maybe around the summer of 2025. The lightweight division shakes out. We have Oliveira and Chandler in November, where we're going to have the title fight between probably Arman and Islam in the beginning couple months of 2025. So as those 4 pieces play out, Dustin Poirier is interested in coming back. Conor McGregor is still out there. I think we just see what happens over the next 4, 5, 6 months, and then we get Max Holloway an opponent at 155 pounds. And as for Ilia, kind of already talked about it, right? It seems all but certain he will get to fight Alexander Volkanovski in a rematch. It will be an immediate rematch for Volkanovski, as he lost back in February, took the rest of the year off, as he should have, by the way. One of the most active champions over the last decade was Alexander Volkanovski, even challenging for the lightweight title 2 separate times. So do we get that in February in Australia? That's the next question. That's less than 4 full months away now. If you're Ilia Topuria, do you want to turn around that quickly in enemy territory to defend your title? That's the biggest question here. I could definitely see him doing it. You get the full month of November, the full month of December, and the full month of January, and then that card, UFC 212 on February 9th, I guess in Australia, February 8th if you're here in the United States. So I think maybe, just maybe, we get it. If I had to lean right now, I'm going to say I'm at about 50-50 chance of Ilia doing that, and Ilia pushing it back just a tad bit, maybe March, April, May timeline. But Volkanovski wants on that card. If Volk really does want on that card badly and isn't 100% fully committed to challenging for the belt next, I think we do Volkanovski and Diego Lopez. But Time will tell. We'll see what happens as we finish out 2024. Honestly, wouldn't be surprised if Diego Lopes fights again before the end of the year, if I'm being honest with you. He did come in here as the backup fighter and make weight successfully. But nevertheless, it looks like Ilia Topuria will be facing Alexander Volkanovski in the rematch for his second title defense and for Volk to get an opportunity to become a two-time champion. So give me your thoughts on this main event in the comments below. What did you make of this performance from Ilia Topuria and from Max Holloway? What an incredible 11-minute bout that we got to see up until that finishing moment. For Ilia, undefeated phenom at 27 years old. The future could not be brighter right now if you tried. What he's putting together in this early stage of his career is absolutely astonishing. The finishing rate that he has, the victories that he has, the way in which he's doing it is unprecedented right now. So I am ecstatic to see what will come next for him. And let me know what you think should be next for Max Holloway. Is it the featherweight division, or is it now the permanent move to lightweight? If you enjoyed this recap, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Every single week, I recap the most meaningful results from all of the biggest fights. I break down and preview the best storylines for every card as we head into the weekend, and I give my thoughts and opinions on MMA news and fight announcements. You can join the community on social media at Verbal Spar MMA on X, Instagram, and TikTok, and you can follow on your favorite audio listening platforms such as Spotify and Apple, where podcast episodes release there every Friday and Monday. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the next video.